the co-founder of the Florida Art Chicks. With my friend Judy, we came up with this idea of this podcast, and we got together Monday nights at the art club and bring people together to just, share the stories, how art really completed them and helped them through difficult times. I was a little girl, 5, 6 years old. I could just pick up a pencil and create in my fantasy world cartoon characters and just draw and have fun. And I enjoy. I was a storyteller, but there is a reason also why I was like that, because one of my ancestors was the original illustrator of the first book, Pinocchio. I was producing animated films, but this time I said, okay, I gotta do more. I gotta do something different. I always enjoy discover new venues and challenge myself. It's kind of a documentary about a life of an artist and try to make it through life the best they can and evolve and just share their talent, their creativity, and so much more fun to do it together in a group. Let's go. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Judy Bergarella, co-founder of the Florida Art Chicks, and I've been painting now for over 20 years. But as a child, I couldn't figure out why everybody couldn't just put a pencil in their hand and just draw whatever they saw. I could draw whatever I saw. When I retire, I figured maybe I'll take up art. So I started my own art club in Connecticut, the Shoreline Painters, which ended up over 100 members by the time I moved to Florida. Made a lot of good friends, learned a lot about art, and in Florida I learned even more. And that's where I hooked up with my friend Cammie, and we started the Florida Art Chicks. And the art has taken me through some very tough times, as it did for other people through COVID, through the death of my husband. And my life would be not as joyful without it. I love my family, but I love my art too. And it really keeps me going and keeps me engaged with other people and having fun, going to parties. And it opens your eyes up to the beauty around you, in the clouds, in the blade of grass, in the trees. I recommend it for anybody.
Michelle Navia, I'm president of the Vero Beach Art Club. I am a woodworker with epoxy, and all of my stuff kind of relates to the culinary world. So I do charcuterie boards, exotic wood cutting boards, lazy Susans and serving trays, and then I have my table division, which I call the chef's table, and I make epoxy river tables and some other items like that. But it's led me to, I decided if I was going to do this, I didn't want to be up in Massachusetts in the middle of the cold winters and all of that. So my family had a place down here for a lot of years. Decided to move to Florida to do it. And I found the Vero Beach Art Club and 600 best friends.
Hi, I'm Jeff Hall.
And I'm Pete Hall.
And together, we are Artist Bungalow. My vocation is as the resident scenic and lighting designer for the Vero Beach Theater Guild. And while I totally love and enjoy that world, I get to escape from there into the painting world, because art and life are intertwined. I have an expressionistic style. I use bold colors, lots of expressive lines and dots and splashes, all of that trying to create an energy and a movement in a piece. How about you?
I capture what I see, I try to, through a whimsical lens, and I use a vibrant color palette. sometimes I do meet people where I sense I feel their heart and their soul, and I sense their passion or their hurt. And that makes me kind of take a shift in my whimsical. And then I try to create a more thought-provoking piece.
Even though we express things individually on one level, there are benefits to collaborating and working together. It's very inspiring.
We do inspire each other. You know, as a couple, we can bounce ideas off of each other. We trade pieces of our work and inspire each other by asking questions, and we explore other mediums, and he steals them from me, though.
That other person can take you on a totally different journey with a piece that you might not have encountered individually. It enhances our way of thinking.
Yeah, we do shows together here in Florida and in other states. And we also collaborate on a multitude of projects. In fact, we're working on one right now that's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. And we do have fun.
It's two hearts creating as one.
So I've been painting my whole life. And just something I was naturally inclined to doing. I never really planned my paintings for the most part. They come out spontaneously, or they lead into structured paintings as well. But so my story goes: lived in Boulder, Colorado, and I started doing sketches with pastels, oil pastels. And I learned something from Pablo Picasso that is pretty much set the course of my artistic career. To produce art in its purest form is very childlike. You just scribble on a thing, like if you give some crayons to a child, what are they going to do with them? They're going to go make some scribbles and, mommy, I did art. Well, as an adult, you can still do that and still have that feeling. I call it the joy of painting. I would do Qigong practices, which are breathing exercises. They're a foundational exercise to martial arts. And so I was always into internal martial arts, internal energy. Practice that in the woods, and I would come home and I would just paint. I would bring the energy and the nature through me and then put it on the canvas, or on paper at the time. Here comes the doozy. I had got diagnosed with Parkinson's, and I still painted. I lost the ability to use my right side. I'm right-handed. I couldn't eat right-handed. I started eating left-handed. Couldn't do anything right-handed. I was like stiff, and it sucks. It sucks today.
With that said, this piece here, this one represents my Parkinson's condition. And so when people ask me what does Parkinson's feel like, I tell them it feels like you're turning into a statue. You or freeze, and so where you can't move. And so this is Medusa. Everybody's familiar with Medusa. When you look at her, she turns you into a statue. And so that's what I call this painting, Staring at Medusa. And it represents how I feel Parkinson's is. It's a horrible experience.
When I was younger, I had migraines. I've been a migraine sufferer since early age, 3 or 4. A lot of people experience migraines, but everybody experiences something different. Everybody experiences a little bit of different discomfort, sometimes downright agony and pain. And I tried to put some of that on canvas to kind of like express how you feel with a migraine. And my migraines, I saw a lot of different circles and things would flash in and out. I would get auras, and those are the auras that I paint. Now, this one in reds and oranges, which is pretty much, it shows the intensity that you can experience with a migraine.
Hi, I'm Ella Chabot. I'm a multimedia fine artist and photographer. At some point when I was a young mom, I was going through some personally challenging things. And I had a dream one night, and in the dream, I was painting with a group of artists, and we were painting the clouds behind mountains. And after I had that dream, I signed up for an art class with a local lady here in Vero Beach, Carol, the group man, who's since passed away. And that's where I started my then hobby of art. I became very interested because I had had to work with the kids with very little materials in using recycled materials for my own art. Because I started doing my own recycled stuff, and I would like to introduce you to my ambassador for recycled art, Favnir. Favnir is from Norse mythology, and he honors my Swedish-American grandmother who taught me all about repurposing and preservation of resources.
Hey, I'm Mark. I am not a visual artist, I'm a musician, and I've always envied those who could do visual arts. I know there are visual artists who look at musicians and all, but I'm one of the musicians who am just in total awe of visual artists. And I came to a social meeting on Monday night, and I've been coming ever since, and I joined. And you don't have to be a professional media artist to belong. You could be an art supporter or consumer. And I've made so many friends here, and I've learned so much about art. If you are not a visual artist yet and you admire visual artists, this is the place to come and learn. Every week I watch all the art that's presented around me, and I learn so much. Enjoy it. And if you're a student, make sure you do something. Take art history or art appreciation while you're in college, whether it's required or not. You'll come back and thank me for it.
I went to Italy for a year after college. I sang in Trastevere in Rome, at the folk studio, and various venues and resorts in Italy, and came back after a year thinking, and maybe I should do this. Came down to Vero Beach right before the pandemic, and became the vocal coach for the Gifford Youth Orchestra and the office manager for the Treasure Coast Jazz Society. And I found, in addition to the vocal coaching, my own grandchildren were now coming to the age where I was inspired by their adorableness. And I did one of my granddaughters. That was the first one. I think she was 2 or 3. And I got a lot of nice, wonderful compliments from friends, family, and colleagues. And I decided this was something I really enjoyed doing. It was maybe 3 then. She's now 9 and a model in Nashville, Tennessee. She is quite the beauty.
All right. I'm Deborah Terrio. I live about 45 minutes south of here, but it's well worth the trip to come up here to be with these people because we have a blast. We have so much fun. Everyone is so supportive, and that's really good. I've been doing art since 1995. I do art. I do many different media. I do oil pastel, chalk pastel, watercolor, acrylic. I do some bas-relief sculpting and oil, and I also teach. And I'm really glad I made the switch and started teaching art.
Hi, my name is Michelle. My husband passed away a couple of years ago, so I kind of got, I don't want to cry. That's why I didn't want to do this. But anyways, I needed something to just get me through, and you guys are all awesome. And I do photography, but my son's like, how do you know you don't paint if you don't paint? So I said, well, you're right, so let me just try. And I don't do anything that's for sale, that's amazing, that's whatever, but I found that it is a peaceful thing.
When I was a little girl, my parents got divorced, and that could be sad, but my dad had to take me on the weekends. And he took me to all the art museums. He knew I was interested in art. I always loved to draw. I remember seeing the Mona Lisa in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Negative family experience turned into a positive for me, and I got to do more art. I got into Art and Design High School in Manhattan, which opened up doors for me. I became an art director for 25 years. I worked for the Muppets. I did cookbooks for Time Life. And then I decided I wanted to teach art to children. I wanted them to learn how to make choices. What's great about art is you get to make choices. Should I do watercolor, oil paint, sculpture, weaving, whatever? Now that I'm retired and I'm down here in Florida, I was asked to teach at the prison. And I used the same metaphor about making good choices with art supplies and making good choices in your life. When I taught elementary school kids in Brooklyn, I remember saying, make good choices, make good choices. This is what we preached all the time. And the joke would be, oh, Joshua took my lunchbox, but I got it back and I hit him over the head with it. And I said, well, now you're both in trouble. That was not a good choice. So when I go to the prison, we don't talk about that, but we talk about, oh, watercolor's a good medium for you. Maybe oil paint's a better medium for you. Maybe collage is a better medium for you. Got metaphor of thinking first and then acting, making good choices to have a good life.
I was younger, I used to love to draw, and I went to high school for drawing. And I was looking to start taking classes up here, and I think with Michelle, we found that they were having a get-together on Monday nights, and we decided to come. So I am just beginning my journey into art, but I have just loved the people here. I love the art that they bring in. I love going to the art shows, and hopefully I'm gonna get started very soon. And I have a lot of encouragement here. I know I can ask questions whenever I want, and it's just a great time. We always have a great time on Mondays. And that's it. When I come back, I will show you what I finally do, but right now I ain't got nothing, okay?
I work on bubblegum art to compete with everybody in here because they're so talented. I know everybody's not gonna chew gum. So that's the only way I can stay here is because I can chew gum. So I have a current work in progress. I started a few days ago, and I'm gonna need a lot more gum, which I have at home, and I'm gonna do this. But the problem with chewing gum and doing bubblegum art, and this is all gum, is the drying time. So this is gonna take me like 3 days just for it to set before I add another layer. This is exactly 55 pieces of gum. 55 pieces right now. I need at least 60 more. And then after I get the layer of gum that I want, I take these hands and I'll wrap them in some gloves because it's easier for the paint to stay. And I'm gonna individually paint this horse. I'll add different details for the eyes, the hair, everything like that. But it's gonna be fundamentally hand painted. So like I said, I got a lot more chewing to do. It sucks. I'm gonna have lockjaw. I do not enjoy it, but this is the only way. I know. Ain't nobody chewing gum like I chew gum.
Hello, I am Blanche. I am an artist. Do you know what an artist is? It is me. I am an artist. I am fabulous. I make fabulous things. I make them out of feathers and foam. Yes, nobody does what I do. I do fabulous, fabulous things. I set them all around my den, and I invite my friends and family to come visit. I do. I name them. I name them after my dead relatives. I have so many. So many dead relatives. Yes, I have lots of names. My friends, they come by, they look. They don't get it because they're not artists like me. I am an artist. They don't understand, but I don't care. I don't care because someday they will call me. The big TV people will call me and have me on the big interview. And I will become nationally, just all over the world, Renault who blanches. I am Blanche. I am an artiste.